Alright, the games industry just exposed itself in the worst way. Pathetic! Expose this, dude.
This will make you laugh. For the last 12 months, a Eurogamer reviewer has apparently been haunted by the 5-star review that he gave to Dragon Age the Veilguard. His words are, "It plagues me." His review...
I wonder what he gave Black Myth Wukong, and if he was one of those people that was like, I don't like that it came from China because it's communist.
Called it the best Dragon Age and the best BioWare game he's ever played. 5 out of 5, a perfect score.
Wait, I can see like someone saying that's the best RPG they've ever played if they've never played one before in their entire life. But to say it's the best Dragon Age is criminal.
A masterpiece.
That's
1 year later, he
criminal.
admits he doesn't think it's a 5-star game, doesn't think it's BioWare's best, says it's been haunting him for the last 12 months.
What?
Yet the score's still up, still there, still misleading people. But it gets worse. The same week that article dropped, the Grammys announced their best video game soundtrack nominations. Star Wars Outlaws made the list, so did Avatar and Indiana Jones. Guess
all bought out. Yeah, Expedition 33. I didn't even finish Expedition 33 because of lack of time. Amazing soundtrack, by the way.
what didn't?
I really
Claire
enjoy
Obscure
soundtracks
Expedition
in video games.
33, one of 2025's highest rated games, arguably game of the year for most. 5 million copies sold, #1 on the Billboard classical chart
Not
for
even
10
nominated.
weeks. One of the best
They're all
game
bought out.
soundtracks in a decade. Got nothing, not even a mention. Same week, same industry, same broken machine that decides what you're supposed to play. And if you're still trusting these people, then listen up. Dragon Age the Veilguard scored an 84 critic score on Metacritic. User score of 3.9. Says it all. We all know the reason why by now without even mentioning this thing. The game went through multiple reboots over 11 years.
They changed the systems like 3 or 4 times during development, and it took 8 years to make the game. How many times do you think they changed the fundamental shifts of the story? Probably many, many times.
Nearly became a live service game, had to be rescued by a Mass Effect team sent in to salvage what was left. The development was a mess, the writing was even worse somehow, the game showed it. But sure, 5 stars, BioWare's best game ever, according to this guy.
It's just, and there's no integrity. There's no integrity. He probably signed something that made him say, like, you can't delete this review. Even after like a certain amount of time. That's the only thing that would make sense. If he truly regrets it, then delete the review. At least it would be kind of honest.
Now 12 months later, he admits, I don't think it's a 5-star game. Says that when asked if he'd score it differently now, he said, yes, I would. Probably land on 4 stars now.
Not even 3, 4.
Probably 4 stars, maybe, but he's not sure. What he is sure about is it's haunted him, plagues him, been thinking about it for 12 months. Poor bloke, 12 months of torment. Still won't change the score though, because apparently Eurogamer's policy is reviews are a snapshot in time. You can't alter them, not something they do. And of course they don't.
Why not? Is it because you pay them or something? Kind of weird. You can't change your mind. What if you put more hours into it? Fair? I don't know. I think that's weird. I think that's weird.
Policy
Maybe
when
I'm
your
just weird.
snapshot's bordering on a lie. They could add an editor's note, a correction, something that says they got this wrong. But no, the 5-star review sits there still recommending the game, still calling it BioWare's best, still misleading people who stumble across it looking for guidance. So why'd he give it 5 stars in the first place? Because the system's designed to produce exactly this result. Publishers fly...
What was that thing that all of the same reviews gave for Dragon Age? They used the same type of word over and over. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was like it was the origin of return to form. That was it. Return to form. No, guys, we totally don't get like told what to say, but you know, every single one of us says return to form for some reason. Don't copy my homework, by the way.
critics to
Turn
preview
these
events
nuts.
months before release, controlled environments,
That's
curated
depressing,
slices
dude.
of the game. These journalists then leave and say that it's worth the wait, and of course they do, they have to. Then the review codes drop, massive RPGs, days to hit the embargo date, race to publish first because being first means traffic, and traffic means money. You play the game, you write it, you score it, you move on as quickly as possible. And if the game's
that's the other thing, is that these people don't like actually play the game. They usually speed run it as fast as possible just so they can get the review out as fast as they can. And it really irks me that that's kind of like the pressure they get put on. I'll give them that they need to pump it out as fast as possible in order to maximize the amount of money they can get out of it.
problems that only show up after a dozen hours or in the real world conditions that we actually experience, they miss them, or they don't have time to think about them, or they just ignore them. Either way, the embargo doesn't wait. The system produced a 5-star review for a game that's now haunting the bloke that wrote it. The system is working exactly as it's intended. He didn't take a bribe, he just did exactly what the machine's designed to make him do, and now he's plagued by it. Just not plagued enough to actually fix it. But if you think
I think he just can't.
Just another example of games
tied.
media being terrible at their jobs. It gets worse. In the same week, the Grammys announced their 2026 video game soundtrack nominations.
This game looks like it came from 2012. Look at the shading and the rendering on this.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora made the list. So did Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So did Star Wars Outlaws. Claire Obscure, Expedition 33. You know, the greatest soundtrack in the last 20 years got nothing. Not even a mention. When was the last time you heard someone mention Avatar's soundtrack or Indiana Jones?
Normies love it. No, they don't, because normies play games and that would show in the Steam charts. Do you know what normies love? Good video games. I know, might be a surprise.
Or Star Wars Outlaws. Go on any social media right now and try to find anyone talking about those soundtracks.
So satisfying.
They literally don't exist in the conversation whatsoever. Now search Claire Obscure and you'll find thousands of people calling it one of the best game soundtracks in years. It hit #1 on the Billboard Classical chart. It stayed there for 10 weeks. The game sold 5 million copies, had no massive marketing budget.
Again, I can't help but think like how stupid and how ignorant it looks to have all these games that have been universally disliked in your top 3 nominations. They didn't even try. The Black Myth Wukong's not on there. Expedition 33's not on there. Like, again, being robbed is different. Not even being nominated is like a completely different story.
Just a small French studio that made something people actually loved. It's one of 2025's highest rated games, arguably one of the best RPGs of this millennium, a genuine phenomenon. And the Grammys ignored it completely. Meanwhile, massive AAA games that literally nobody is talking about get the nominations. Even the people who were nominated know it's a robbery. Austin Wintory, the composer nominated for his work on Sword of the Sea, said he was sad at the lack of Expedition 33 and said he'd happily trade places. A nominee openly saying that the game that got snubbed deserved it more than he did. So why did it happen? It happened for the same...
It just means that they were being snubbed. Again, I don't take this like gamer awards, streamer awards seriously, because like most of the time it's either a popularity contest of like literally flooding and inundating with votes, or it's a popularity vote based on the people who sponsor the actual award track. It's the same thing with the Oscars as well.
Same reason
they don't really matter that
Eurogamer
much.
gave Veilguard 5 stars. Visibility over value. Sandfall Interactive is a small studio. No lobbying power, no industry clout, no ad spend at the Grammy voting events. Meanwhile, EA, Ubisoft, Disney, they've got the big budgets, the sponsors, the connections. Awards aren't about what's best, they're about who's loudest. The most visible, who pays, who you know, who you owe. Both of these examples...
Journalism was always like that. It's just ramped up over the last probably I want to say 15 years.
Are part of the same broken system. So keep this in mind, because if you're still reading day one reviews from these places, you're being lied to. But most of us worked that out years ago. The trust is gone now and it's not coming back, which makes what's happening with indie games even more impressive. When a game like Clair Obscur sells 5 million copies, it wasn't just handed that success. There were no fancy events, no awards considerations, no media access machines churning out hype. It took the hard route. When Silksong launched and hit almost 600,000 concurrent players on Steam, 587,000.
And then the people will say, oh, well, it only has 30,000 peak players right now. That's like nothing. And I'm like, you're such an idiot, man. This is why there's a problem with these people who are like, oh, it has to like consistently stay at like a 500 million players at all times. You're part of the problem, by the way. You can't just have like a massive success of a game and then just have a consistent single player base that just completes the game and then leaves it alone when they're done with it.
To be exact,
it's gotta
breaking
stay
records,
high, or
crashing
lose
storefronts. It did that based on one thing.
Elden Ring did that too. It climbed to like what, 200k or 400k, and then it fell off because people finished the game. But there's still an immense amount of people that play it every single day to this day.
Trust in Team Cherry. 7 years of waiting, no over-the-top marketing campaigns, no lies, just a studio that delivered hype the first time and earned the belief and the trust that they do it again. That's what makes these successes so insane. They did it without the machine, completely separate of it. They weren't just handed a free pass, just quality and honesty. That's all that matters, and the contrast couldn't be clearer. But here's the uncomfortable bit. The system hasn't changed, and it likely never will, because that would mean admitting they've been misleading us for decades. Eurogamer's 5-star review is still up, and that won't change. The Grammy still gave nominations to games nobody's talking about. Nothing's different on their end.
Yeah, they're bought out. The Grammys probably don't make that much money. That's why they took the payment.
Different is us. We've stopped believing them, and slowly that's starting to matter more than an 8 out of 10 IGN review score ever did. Eurogamer's reviewer backtracking is something, I suppose. At least he's honest about getting it wrong. That's more than most will ever admit. But the score is still up. The review's still misleading people. And Eurogamer's policy...
I wouldn't say it's misleading people. That would imply people actually go to the website to look at it. Like, I've never opened up a Eurogamer or like an IGN review, or I don't know what else is out there. Whatever. The only thing I've ever looked at is like Metacritic score, and even then, I kind of take it with a grain of salt. I always look at people who like the same games that I do. Even if they don't like that particular game, they usually say like, "Oh, well, this game's not for me," but like it looks really good.
Means it will stay that way forever. Yeah, so what's that honesty really worth? Precisely zero. The system still rewards being a good boy.
What is this, man? This looks like a PS2 game. I'm not even kidding. Bro, what is this rendering? What is this cutting on the horse thing? This is Game of the Year for the Grammys?
The awards still reward their industry friends.
Yeah, this is
critics still chase access over honesty. The Grammys still chase sponsors. We can't fix that, but we can stop listening to it. Stop clicking their day one reviews. Stop reading their AI.
And if I remember correctly, this game died at launch because it was like super buggy. Like, what? This game was unplayable, didn't they? I forget what it was about. So, yeah, like it was just awful.
I generated tip
and
guides.
It cost like $40.
Stop watching award ceremonies that nominate Star Wars Outlaws and ignore the games people actually loved. They don't deserve your attention. They don't represent us. They've spent years proving they don't care.
Yep.
Support the developers who are honest with you, the ones who deliver what they promise, the independent voices who don't need access or awards to tell you the truth. People like me, hit subscribe. It's up to us to decide what's real and what's just smoke and mirrors designed to keep share prices as high as possible. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video.
If this studio ever makes another game, I'm 100% buying it, even if I don't play it. Again, I played Expedition 33. I only got an hour in, and then I had to. I've just been so fucking overworked, man. I really want to finish it. Everyone's been harping on about it. Every time Aswin brings it up, he's like, "You gotta play the game," and I'm like, "I know."
Drop a like, a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help me out so much. Thanks again. I'll see you in the next one.
I gotta support them, man. It's a return to form. Take a vacation for it. We'll wait. Dude, an entire week to play? That sounds sick. I mean, overall, I don't know. I feel like normies don't even look at game journalists. That people don't even read the newspaper anymore. You really think normies go out of their way to, like, read reviews on a website that nobody uses it? Man, I don't know. There's no shot. I don't believe it.